Or 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this rainy Monday morning. If you're looking at the live streaming thing here, the video, you can see it raining here at the Paddock Mall. I think I can see it better on the camera than I can through the actual window. Because it's brighter with the camera or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let me do the weather real quickly. 66 degrees right now. Temperatures are expected to climb to 78, but it's not the temperatures that we're concerned about today. It is the weather. Let me actually click on this. You know, I had it a second ago. Now I don't know where it went.
Okay.
But in a nutshell, there's some severe weather expected for our area today and tomorrow. The whole southeast, pretty much, from the Carolinas down to out as far west as, I think, Tennessee, if I remember right? Mm-hmm. I apologize. I'm not looking at it. Here we go. Okay. Okay, this is not as detailed as the Weather Channel site was. This is AccuWeather. Thunderstorms, some may contain locally heavy rain, especially during the morning hours. Highs at 78, wind from the southwest at 10 to 15. The chance of rain, 100%. Well, yeah, I could have told you that. It's raining out there. That's 100% chance, right?
That's right.
100% chance.
That's right.
All right, hope you had a good weekend, and let's talk about the news, shall we?
Okie doke. I'm ready.
The rain is probably helping a brush fire over in DeLand. 60 acres is what was reported on fire, according to the Florida Forest Service. I would imagine this rain is helping them this morning.
I would think so. That's a godsend.
As I mentioned before the break, a Cirque du Soleil aerialist has died after falling onto the stage during a performance Saturday night in Tampa. The show is called Volta, V-O-L-T-A. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So what, each venue for Cirque du Soleil has a different show? Is that how that works?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Anyway, the guy was 38 years old. Jan Arnaud is the gentleman's name. He had been with the circus for 15 years, over 15 years. And,
Gosh.
And they're all, of course, saddened by that.
Oh, yeah. They're a family.
When a story begins with these 5 words, you always have to say, okay, here's the 5 words. Wearing nothing but a Speedo.
Okay.
Wearing nothing but a Speedo.
There you go.
Goggles and a swim cap. A Lake Mary high school teacher began an 8-day swim up the St. Johns River.
Man or woman?
Saturday morning. It's a man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nothing but a Speedo? Is that the part?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 164-mile trek in chilly, murky water. Now, it's interesting that they say up the St. Johns River because they're referencing the compass direction. He's going north.
Yes.
But usually with a river, you say upstream, and in the case of the St. Johns, that would be south.
Yeah.
So he's not really... the current is helping him.
Yes.
I don't think he'd
That's
go
right.
anywhere if he swam the other way.
No, he wouldn't.
If you ever try to swim upstream in one of the local rivers, you know you don't go very far.
Oh, yeah.
You don't go anywhere.
Yeah, in the Rainbow River, you don't go anywhere.
Oh, my gosh. It's hard to swim upstream. But anyway, so he's swimming downstream but heading north in the St. Johns River because that's the way that river flows. And so he's doing it he's a teacher. He's a physics and astronomy teacher. So he's doing this, he says, to show his students the journey a raindrop makes once it falls in Longwood and travels to the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, okay.
He said he knows there are alligators in the water, but the water is too murky, he can't see them.
Of course not. I mean, what you can't see can't hurt you, right?
Oh, that thing we heard the other day about, where did we go? We went to Homosassa Springs. And the guy doing the presentation was talking about this guy had his dog down by the water.
Yeah.
And no, I'm sorry, the dog ran away or something. And they had a tracking device.
They were duck hunting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he had a tracking device on the dog's collar. Well, the dog never came back, so they got the tracking device thing, and beep, 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 beep. It led them to an alligator. Not a good sign when your beeping device leads you right to an alligator. So they killed the alligator and opened it up and found the collar inside.
Yes, they did.
With the dog's remains.
Yeah.
You know what else they found? 5 other collars.
Yeah. Yep.
Alligators eat dogs.
Yes, they do.
That's the message there. Don't take it. I remember going up to, oh gosh, don't tell me, Payne's Prairie State Park. Mm-hmm. There's a lake up there. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I had 2 dogs at the time. Mm-hmm. Both were on long leashes. I used to have long leashes. Mm-hmm. And I was walking and they went close to the water's edge. And we saw, both you and I, alligator heads go down under the water.
Yeah, there were a lot.
And that's when I said, uh-oh, let's get away from this thing. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of alligators in that particular lake, by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
If you ever take a canoe out there, I mean, they're all around you. It's kind of scary, but kind of cool if you're not scared.
Yeah.
I've never heard, I'm not saying it's never happened, but I've never heard of an alligator attacking a canoe. Have you?
No, I never have.
I was fishing with my son and my nephew one time in Tiger Lake in Rainbow Lakes Estates. Mm-hmm. And my nephew caught a fish. And a gator came to get the fish.
Oh, my gosh.
So my nephew was literally having a tug, and he said, whoa, all of a sudden it got really tight, and then, of course, the string broke, the line broke.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
So, anyway.
Yeah, no, that was so scary, and it was, they were warning duck hunters that could happen to your dogs.
Yeah, be careful. All right, the sad story about the bridge collapsing down in the Miami area is the death toll is at 6, so they did not find any more bodies after they lifted up some of that concrete. But there are a lot of accusations that this was incompetently put together. B, there were cracks and nobody seemed to address those cracks. Mm-hmm. C, they hadn't done the stress test yet, and they were going to do it with traffic going on underneath.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, there's so many loose ends or whatever you call it on this particular story, implying that there was a lot of incompetence and a lot of, oh my God, can you imagine? This is a horrible story.
It's prefab. Prefabricated. At least the parking garage by the courthouse is not prefabricated, and it's been there a lot of years.
Here in Ocala.
Yeah, here in Ocala. The new one that's up there is prefab. When you and I were there, parked for the first Friday Art Walk, you said, "Don't you feel the swaying?"
You could feel it.
You could feel it moving. So I'm not parking there anymore.
That's crazy.
I wonder if the mayor's going to have somebody go out and check it out to make sure that it is safe for our community.
I don't know. You can call him.
Yeah, I think I will, because this is scary. I'm not parking there anymore.
The owner of the Amrit Palace restaurant, Indian restaurant here on the State Road 200, is being credited with saving a life. One of his customers was choking on something, and he performed the Amrit maneuver, the Heimlich maneuver. Smart guy. Listen to this. His name is Gurpreet Singh. Smart guy. He has an instructor come in every 3 months to teach the staff the Heimlich maneuver and CPR.
Oh, that's great.
That's a smart move for a restaurant owner, right?
Yeah. And they've been here a lot of decades, so thank you so much, Mr. Singh.
They always show up as number 1 on the list of favorite restaurants.
Yeah.
Whenever one of the magazines does a little survey, or Yelp or one of those, they always show up at the top.
And they have real tablecloths, too. They're real linen tablecloths. Very, very charming inside.
I've never been
wonderful.
in. Really?
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. Real linen tablecloths.
Wow.
This is great.
I don't even think I would notice.
I'll invite you to
I would
go
love to.
there.
What we should do is go to a restaurant together and then take a quiz after we come out. What did you notice? I bet I would not put. They had real tablecloths. I don't think that would come up at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I would have. I mean, you would have.
Yeah.
But I wonder
for women.
I wonder what I would notice that
me.
you wouldn't notice.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I wonder what kind of things I would notice.
I'll bet you there are things that you would notice that I wouldn't notice.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't even notice I said that. In Claremont, the police department there have arrested a man. They say he was up to no good. They've charged him with a few things. He had a truck, right? A truck? Was it a truck? Yeah, Ford truck in the parking lot of a Sonny's restaurant on Highway 50. Inside the truck, several 5-gallon buckets filled with bottles of gasoline.
Oh, my God.
The bottles had rags sticking out of them. What do you think he was up to?
He was going to blow something up.
Authorities immediately evacuated the area, and no one was injured, but the guy's been arrested.
Thank God.
Horrible. People are just no. Oh, gosh, no, nothing. I don't know. No sense or something. Good morning. You're on
No
the air.
caring.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Hugh, how you doing?
Oh, thank God for the rain.
You got a new phone.
Yes,
Sounds good.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that really doesn't sound good. I don't know why I said that.
These kind of instruments actually they kind of scare me.
Yeah. So how you
Hey,
doing?
we had an inch of rain in 15 minutes, if that means anything.
We have a what?
What happened?
A 1 inch of rain in 15 minutes.
Oh my!
Oh.
Wow,
There you go.
But
that's huge.
It's quiet down to just kind of a heavy drizzle now, but any rain is better than no rain, I guess.
Yeah, we need rain. Yeah, my apple tree wants to go outside and play.
See, but the Hamlet maneuver, quite a few years back, I was in a restaurant, and somebody that wasn't that far from us, a woman started choking on whatever she was eating, and really it was a bad situation. For God's sakes, somebody that was sitting not too far from her either got up and gave her the old boom boom from the back and pushed her chest in, and out came whatever she was eating. She was saved. She probably would have died otherwise.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my
Yeah.
God.
I mean, that's a scary experience to go through like that. Thank God some people, everybody should really know how to do that, procedure.
Yeah. Well, the smart guy, they should give him some kind of a accolade
Mr. Singh.
Yeah.
for having the foresight to have a trainer come in and train everybody. Yeah.
Every 3 months.
I think that's almost like being like a law, more or less, that all these restaurant owners have their employees go through that training,
Common sense, I think, for the restaurant employees and employers.
Yeah. I just think it was a smart
Common
idea to do
sense.
that. I
Very
don't know if
smart.
there's a law that says he has to do it, but it's a nice
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. All right. Hey.
Okay, well, let's hope it rains all day today.
Okay.
Yeah, we need it.
It's Monday, so we're allowed to let it rain all day today.
It's the best day of the week for rain, Monday.
Yeah, we don't like it on Friday. Yeah, so yeah, we put our order in for today.
Okay, see you guys later.
Thank you, Hugh.
Yeah, it was. It was a great week last week for the spring breakers, for the students being out.
And
so-
today, back to school, right?
Yes. Yep.
Let's see. So one of the uncles of his niece died in the crash of that bridge, and he's in the news. I'm understandably upset. He says why
course.
they had to build this monstrosity in the first place to get children across the street.
And why was it prefab? Why isn't it all steel and concrete like it's supposed to be? Stupid.
AT&T's fight to buy Time Warner, home of DC Comics heroes Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, as well as HBO's Game of Thrones and CNN, heads to a high-stakes throwdown with the Trump administration today in a Washington, D.C. courtroom. The nation's largest telecom company, which counts 1/3 of Americans among its wireless customers, wants to convince the court that its $85 billion deal for buying media powerhouse Time Warner will help consumers. The opponent, however, on the opposite side of the ring, in the blue shorts,
Yes.
is the Department of Justice. They say the deal must be stopped. So there you go. Whose side are you on?
I mean, they're two private entities, okay? I mean, aren't they allowed to make up their own minds?
But if that was the only statement, then I don't know. There might be other examples of private entities. But when the entity is entertainment,
Yes.
all you have to do if you have a problem with this is not watch these things.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
I mean, you as a
exactly.
consumer, you say, "Oh, who cares?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't care who owns it.
That's right. It's like the football.
If you don't like it, don't watch it."
That's right. Football viewing went down.
President Trump is scheduled to address opioid addiction today in New Hampshire. The president ordered his health secretary to declare opioid abuse a public health emergency in October and signed orders waiving regulations and giving states more flexibility in using federal money to combat the epidemic. This week, a House subcommittee will begin considering more than 24 proposals that would make it easier for those addicted to get treatment, speed up research on opioid abuse, and intercept shipments of the drugs into the United States.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Very.
I've had my share of vices in this lifetime, but never drugs. So don't ask me what my vices
Well,
are.
thank God. Oh, I won't.
Cigars was my vice.
You had a pluralization there, so I'm not going to ask what the rest of them were.
Oh, the other vices?
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask.
Donuts? Uh-huh. That was a vice for a while. Still is a vice. Suzuki's? Pretty much anything with cream in it and powdered sugar on top.
Oh.
Pretty much. All right. British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson said he'll brief European Union foreign ministers today on the poisoning of former spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter, allegedly by Russian agents. Skripal and his daughter remain in critical condition following the poisoning that happened on March 4th. Wow, that's a long time to be in critical condition.
And I wonder what happened to the police officer, too, because he was taken to the hospital. The one that discovered them on the bench.
In his first comments on the incident, Russian President Vladimir Putin referred to the poisoning as a tragedy, adding that the victims would have died instantly were a Soviet-designed nerve agent involved. It was not us. It could not have been us. If it was us, I can't do an accent, but if it was us, they would be dead.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Putin, he won the election over in Russia.
Of course he did. Was there any doubt?
He will serve another 6 years.
Of course he did. There probably wasn't one person that voted against him either, or else they'd be dead.
You've probably heard this one a few times on the news. 2 people were injured after a home explosion in Austin last night, Austin, Texas. There were no confirmed reports whether the incident was related to 3 previous explosions that happened earlier in the month in Austin also. 2 people died in those previous explosions. Chief Brian Manley confirmed at a news conference last week that all 3 incidents were package bombs at residences. There's not a whole lot of information on the one last night. They say maybe a tripwire is what triggered it.
This is horrible.
I believe the 2 people were bicycling.
God.
A man argued with his former wife at a Southern California shopping mall before shooting her to death. He then turned the gun on himself, leading shoppers to run into stores and out of the exits on Saturday. The Los Angeles area gunman, 33 years old, was wounded and taken to a hospital. He was in critical condition, according to the Ventura County Star newspaper. The name of the mall was the Oaks Mall. It's in the city of Thousand Oaks, about 40 miles west of L.A.
My God.
It's not a whole lot of space west of L.A. He must have been right up against the water, huh?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that area at all. I don't know it. You do.
The divorced couple have children who have been found safe.
Thank God.
Anyway.
I should just let them die. Don't fix them.
Tax loopholes may be clamping down on corporate box seats at stadiums. Now, why would that be? A new tax law ends a benefit prized by business for impressing customers or courting new customers. The impact could be felt in the pricey box seats at sports stadiums. In Washington, lobbyists who helped craft their tax legislation could now be pinched by it. U.S. companies spend hundreds of millions annually on entertaining customers and clients at sporting events, tournaments, and arts venues, an expense that until this year they could partially deduct from their tax bill. But a provision in the new law eliminates the longstanding 50% deduction in an effort to curb the overall price tag of the legislation and streamline the tax code. Well, that ought to please the people who are down on the president.
I would think so.
Congress did not feel the government should subsidize it anymore. Firms are going to take a hard look at their entertainment budgets. Well, why should they? Why should they subsidize it?
Yeah, exactly.
That is crazy.
It is. It is.
Did you
nuts.
even know they were subsidizing this?
No, I didn't know that. I had no clue. I mean, there is a certain percentage of entertainment that a corporation can write off, but I didn't realize it was this and of this magnitude. It's huge.
Do you think they should write off any entertainment at all? I think entertainment should be something you pay for and pay taxes for. Like everybody else.
No, I do agree with you, because if your business chooses to buy box seats, then that's a private business. Why should the taxpayer pay for it? That's not right. Not right.
The U.S. Open tennis tournament held in Flushing Meadows, New York, offers courtside suites. They see around 40% of their revenue coming from corporate sales.
Well, sure, the corporations buy it. So, I mean,
I am not a fan of schmoozing. I am not. It always seems phony to me. I had my share of stuff when I was younger. It was always phony,
Yeah, because the company wants something from a person that can provide them with a certain talent, and they try to coerce you to come to their side of the fence.
But even here, I mean, in the early days of radio, us in radio, I'm not saying radio in general, but our time in radio, you would have all kinds of people coming asking you, hey, if I give you this, will you give me some airtime? They're not allowed to give you money.
Yeah.
But they would offer, tickets to things. And
yeah, exactly.
We took them. If it was theme parks, we took them.
Yeah. Yep.
Superstore company Fred Meyer will stop selling guns and ammunition. The Portland, Oregon-based chain, in a statement on Friday, said it made the decision after evaluating customer preferences. The company sells guns at 45 of its 130 stores in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Alaska. A statement from the company says Fred Meyer has made a business decision to exit the firearms category.
There you go.
It's a subsidiary of Kroger, by the way.
Oh, okay. I like shopping Kroger. I mean, there's nothing down here, but when we were living up north, Kroger and A&P were the two big chains.
Now, why is it that people prefer one grocery store to another? If you think about it, it's all groceries, right?
Right.
I need some Cocoa Puffs. They got them everywhere.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I need a butter. They got it everywhere. I need milk, eggs. They got it everywhere.
I think people just like a particular ambiance in a particular store, and that's why they like that particular store.
I like the particular price tag at the end when you're checking out.
Yeah, that's a good way to get business.
A 36-city On the Run 2 world tour starring Beyonce and Jay-Z is predicted to mean that new music will be out there from the duo. Jay-Z hinted at the possibility of a collaborative album in an interview with T magazine in November. And Jay-Z and Beyonce have joined forces on a slew of tracks since their last combined live tour. Tickets go on sale today for the global tour.
Yep.
For those interested.
Bet they're expensive.
How many of our listeners are going? Anybody? I don't see too many of our listeners that are on that list.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. All right. There it is. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. It's not raining too hard right now, but rain is expected pretty much all day today. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. People in a neighborhood of Austin, Texas are being told to stay indoors this morning after an explosion last night by the side of a road, possibly triggered by a tripwire.
The blast injured two men.